welcome back to Nat's Beautiful Life. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my top books of the year. I have read about 40 books this year, which I know a lot of people read a lot more, but I think it's a good amount. Instead of giving you like a top 10 list and everything like I did last year, I think what I'm going to do is give you kind of like a top 5 that kind of stick out to me, give you some honorable mentions, and then also some of my new favorite authors that I've discovered like the past year or two. I will put on my blog, or at least have a link down below to every book I've read this year, and then I usually put a little, a few comments about them. If you ever want to know what I'm reading or what I've read throughout like the year, like 2016, and all of that, you can check out my book club page on Facebook, and that is the NC Girls Night Out book club group on Facebook, and you can check that out. So anywho, all that stuff is linked down below, but I will go ahead and get started on my top books of 2017. Alright, so the first book, and I'm not going to really put them in any particular order, these are just the top 5 that have just kind of stuck out to me. And one was Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I really loved it. I loved how you not only fell in love with the characters, you fell in love with the actual characters. So you fell in love with the personas within the game, you fell in love with the real people. It had some great twists and turns in it, and it was just a really great story, and I'm looking forward to the movie coming out. The book is always better than the movie, but I'm looking forward to the movie coming out because I think it's going to be really interesting to see, and I'm really like pumped for that. But that was a really good book, and I do have a review on it on my Chit Chat with Nat channel, which is linked down below. But I really did enjoy that, and I thought that was different. I liked it. The other one is A House in the Sky by Amanda Lindout. I got it written down here, if you're wondering what I'm looking at. A House in the Sky is a memoir. So I'm telling you, it is a book that I think everyone should read. And she's a traveler. She likes to save up money and for a couple months and work, and then she goes and she travels for a couple months, and she's just really been fortunate with that. And then she was in Somalia and was kidnapped and she was held for almost a year, I want to say. If it wasn't almost a year, it was just a little over a year. But she and one of her friends, who was a male, and she being female in this country, were kidnapped. And it's just her story. And then once you get through the story part of it, and well, I say the story, it really happened. Once you get through her, telling of the tale of what's happened to her, what she's gone through, and what people have done to her, and you see what she's done with that in the aftermath, you just have so much respect for her. And just even while she was going through this, her mindset was really wonderful. And I just really, it's an amazing book. It's not an easy book. I think it's an easy read, but when I say it's not an easy book, it's heavy material. So sometimes I'd have to put it down and do something else because it was just getting to me. But it's an amazing good book. The next one is Where'd You Go, Bernadette by Maria Semple. This is a little bit more lighthearted, but this book, not only did it have moments of just being hilarious, it's a good story. There's just so much to it. You've got this husband that's really got his stuff together, a mom who is very talented but has like lost it a little bit, and this kid that's just awesome. And it's just an amazing book. I love it, and I can't recommend it enough. It's got cute moments. It's just funny, and it's funny. It's a good time book, so I really enjoyed that. The next one is The Glass Castle by Jeanette Wells. I know there's a movie out by this. I've never seen the movie, but I could tell by the what do you call that? The previews of the movie that it was nothing like the book, because they were kind of romanticizing the father as opposed to showing just... Once again, it's a memoir of Jeanette Wells and her life and her family from childhood up, and just, it's amazing. Like, you're going to be reading this book shaking your head. Like, her parents, they're just different people, and they were raising their kids in their kind of nomad kind of way, and that's okay. But I mean, there's a part in it, sorry, knocked the camera. There's a part in it where the mom comes home and she's angry because the butter is gone, because the sister ate the butter, because that's all they had in the house. And it's just that's the kind of life she had. And I mean, at the same time, the parents were very adventurous and had fun, but like they didn't really know how to be adults themselves. So it's a really good book. It's another one of those where sometimes I had to just put it down and do something else because it was getting to me. The next one and the last one kind of on my like top 5 list is one I read recently. It is The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. It's another one I think everybody should read. And I love that she did this book in a multifaceted way. It is not one-sided. And then there are all these different personalities in the book that you really love. Like, people you just fall in love with, and you fall in love with their family. But there's just different positions within the family and different stations in life and all of that. It's just a really well done book, and I recommend that very much. So, and I'm gonna have some honorable mentions. So these are ones that I didn't necessarily put in the top 5, but I recommend them highly. First one is Into the Water, Paula Hawkins. Same gal who wrote The Girl on the Train. I think Into the Water was better. It was creepy. I really enjoyed that one. The next one is Lab Girl by Hope Jaron. This is another memoir. She is a scientist, and this is a good book. Like, you'll never look at a tree the same again, but the whole book isn't just trees. And she has a way of just weaving her words and starts talking about a tree, and then all of a sudden it's your life. And I think that's a great storyteller, and she has great things to tell. I really loved it. All the Missing Girls, Megan Miranda. I talked about this in one of my favorites videos. It's just a good book. So go check that out. And if you're in North Carolina, like me, it is set in North Carolina. It's a really good one. And the next one is The Lying Game by Ruth Ware. That's another good one. It has kind of a twist at the end, but not. I don't even know how to explain it. All I know is it was a very good book. Okay, and I highly recommend it. And in fact, Ruth Ware has become one of my favorite new authors. I read The Lying Game, The Woman in Cabin 10, I feel like some other things, and I've got things on my to-read list that are by Ruth Ware. So some of my favorite authors I wanted to share with you guys. Ruth Ware's one of them. Morgan Matson, and she writes young adult books, but they're good, and they're about like thick as the Lord of the Rings. I mean, they're huge, but I enjoy reading them so much that I pound through them so quickly, but I don't want to. I don't want it to end because I feel like I want to step into this story, and you just want to be there. And I really love her stuff, and I'm looking forward to her upcoming book that will be coming out, I think, in May of 2018. So totally on my to-read list. Paula Hawkins, which of course I mentioned already with Into the Water. I really did love Girl on the Train. I did the audiobook for that one, and the person who did the audiobook was really good. So, and it was like different people for the different characters, so I liked that the best, and so that was really good. So yeah, I really enjoy her books. And well, who else we got? Maria Semple. I'm gonna put it on the screen because I don't think it sounds like I'm saying sample. It's simple. Like simple, not simple. Oh my. But her. She's written several books that I have read. I've read a couple this year alone, and am I incorrect did she write? No, that's Sophie Kinsella. Whatever. Anywho, I really like that. And the other one is Sophie Kinsella. I've got where I really love her books too. Like, I think she wrote one called, yeah, she's the one that wrote Finding Audrey. And I loved that book so much. It was just darling. And it got picked for our book club for February this coming year. So I'm excited to actually revisit that book again because I really enjoyed it. So new favorite authors are going to be like Ruth Ware, Morgan Matson, Paula Hawkins, Maria Semple, and Sophie Kinsella. And for my favorite series that I'm reading right now would be The Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. That's how you say it, right? So I am waiting for that fourth and final book to come out, and I've really enjoyed those. And I'm not normally like a fantasy kind of book reader. I don't mind supernatural fiction and dystopian fiction and things, but I'm not always like into the fantasy type things. And this is more of like a tiptoe, put your little toe in the water into fantasy, and I enjoyed it so much. So I cannot wait for that next book to come out. And I think that is it for my book favorites for 2017. And once again, I always make an exhaustive list of all the books I've read throughout the year, and then I usually put little notes about if it was good, if it was bad, don't even pick this book up type of thing. And yeah, so you can kind of get an idea of what I liked. Alright, so once again, I feel like I have just like right through this entire video, but that's just kind of where I am right now in my day. So I hope this video was helpful. Let me know what your favorite books of 2017 were, because I might want to check them out. And I think that's it. I want to stop talking. Have a great day, gorgeous.